Tede Johnson has always shared a love for animals and Mother Nature, so it is no surprise that you can find her volunteering at the Virginia Living Museum.
So it started out as just a hobby, and 20 years later, it's much more. Hear her story in this week's I Am Hampton Roads.
Hi, I'm Tede Johnson. I've been a volunteer here at the museum for 24 years. I moved down here from New York State, southern New York State, when I retired. I was a teacher. I'm 83 years old, so this gives me a sense of purpose. It gets me out of myself, you know, and it gives me something to do, and I taught, so it's perfect to be around the children so much. I love it. It really does more for me than it does for the museum. You know, again, it gets me out of myself. And I met some other wonderful volunteers here, a lot of them around my age and like that, and it just keeps me going, keeps my mind alert. I do all the special events that they have at night, the weddings and all the things on the weekends and like that. I always do that too. Yeah, I do the story hour once a month, the third Saturday of every month at 10 o'clock. And then I read a story, I show them the animal, and I give them an ornament that I painted about the animal, and they take the ornament home. You know, I grew up during the Depression. We didn't have TV, we didn't have a radio, we didn't have a telephone. Spent all my time outside. And the kids call me Mother Nature because it's just something I've always done, and I did it in the classroom, you know. I taught children with learning disabilities, and we used nature as a teaching tool, and it really, really worked. Oh, the touch tank, of course, is the big favorite. You know, I used to do that, but I can't bend over anymore, so I can't do that. The animal programs are my favorite, but all of the things, and always the special things they have, like the dinosaurs now, are such a draw for the children. He's a great horned owl. There's not too many volunteers that work with him. I've been working with him now probably about 18 years. He's getting very old, so we don't use him for a lot of day things like we used to. We use him for special things at night. We don't name any of our animals, because if we do, then children think of wild animals as pets. They see them out in the wild, oh, there's Charlie, and they pick them up and try and take them home. None of our animals have names. They all have numbers. He doesn't have a number because he's the only one we have, but all of our animals, we sign them out by numbers. Many of them have been injured, and they can't be released. So this is a perfect place for them. He'd been hit by a car, and a man found him, rehabilitated him at his home. He was a man who did rehabilitation, then eventually donated him to the museum. I believe in the philosophy of keeping them as wild as we can. It's healthier for them. So I don't play with him or anything like that. I glove up, sleeve up, pick him up, put him back, you know, try to keep him as much in the wild state. He knows me. He's comfortable with me because I've worked with him so long. The whole museum is just so great, you know. They do so much. It's not just me, it's everybody. We couldn't do the things without the support that we get. There's times when I get up in the morning, I think I can't do anything. But I get my shirt on and I come over here, I forget about it, you know. And, you know, I have aches and pains constantly. That goes with the age, but I don't even think about it when I'm over here. This isn't just something you go in and then walk back out again. It's to make them aware how important the things that we do are for the animals and the plants. It's not just the animals. It's just, I don't think people think about it so much. You know, they don't think about, gee, you know, these animals, they need help, or isn't it interesting, I've never seen an owl up close, or I've never seen a skunk or a possum. You really appreciated it. And that's what we're trying to make people do, is appreciate nature and how important it is. If it's gone, it's gone. It'll never come back. My name is Tede Johnson. I have volunteered here for 24 years, and I am Hampton Roads.
All right, we want to thank Ariane for bringing us that story. Now, Tede earned national recognition in April. She was named the 2010 Volunteer of the Year by the American Association of Museum Volunteers. So that's a nationwide recognition for her. To learn more about the Virginia Living Museum exhibits and where you can maybe interact with Tede, you could go to www.thevlm.org. We were there the other day, went back to see the robot dinosaurs, and the kids had encountered Tede out on the trail too with the little owls too, and she's wonderful.
24 years of volunteering and enriching young lives. That's great.
And you know, I mean, it's so
way to go, Tede.
It's so important what she said about the job, not just getting her out of her house, but out of herself.
Right.
You know, anybody can walk out of their front door, but getting out of yourself sometimes is a little harder for everybody to do.
It keeps her going. The owl was cool, wasn't it?
Yep. Very.
Or hot.